Well, welcome back, League fans, for Game 3, where Echo Fox's and Team Liquid's Academy teams are about to square off. Echo Fox Academy have shown a shakeup in their roster as a couple of LCS members will be taking to the Rift today.
That's right. They've got Phoenix and Apollo playing in, so these guys had an amazing end of split. Last LCS split, they just won, I think it was 5 games in a row, made it to the quarterfinals. Almost beat TSM as well. So this team was on fire, and now they're here facing Team Liquid Academy, who, well, they've always been great.
Yeah, they've been a solid squad in their own right, despite never earning a title, Crumbs, which...
They were so close.
They were so close. Finalists, of course, last summer. Braden is kicking back in. And even though they lost to the champs, we are very much top 3 in Academy.
Yeah, and we haven't seen them play yesterday. So this will be the actual first match that we get out of Team Liquid. So we have no idea what to expect out of them, except the best of Academy.
And they're also kind of looking to get things, back in line now that Viper has left and gone to FlyQuest to play in the LCS. Jumping right into the rosters, however, we're going to start things on the blue side with Echo Fox Academy. In the top lane, Lolo. In the jungle, Panda. Mid, Phoenix. Bot, Apollo. Support, Phil. And their coach, Mabry.
And opposite them on the red side, it's Team Liquid Academy with Jenkins in the top lane, Mike Young in the jungle, Insanity in the mid lane. Your bot lane is Shoryu, and his support, Matt.
And again, no changes at all, actually, from this last spring. Again, with Viper leaving, but that was at the end of last year. Again, why is that so tough to remember? Leaving last year, up with FlyQuest. So Team Liquid saying, you know what? We're happy with our team. We're happy with kind of the direction they've been taking. Obviously, their main team is doing very, very well. So we'll see what the Academy...
Oh, I bet the main team has been trickling some lessons down over to Academy. Last split, we saw the general manager of the main team go down and actually coach Team Liquid towards the very end of the split. So I think that there's a lot of crossover between Academy and LCS, especially for Team Liquid.
Well, at least today, Yuumi continues to be 100% banned on the blue side.
That's right, and it's because no one wants to first pick and just give it away. It's so obvious, and it presents a challenge that says, all right, what do you have against Yuumi? Personally, I have no idea what you pick against Yuumi, because it's about their synergy, but still, no one wants to take that leap of faith. Not this early on in the split where you don't need to take crazy risks.
Well, there's also Aurelia and Tarek and Rise all banned away, so TL Academy will take the Sona Tarek off the board, despite, again, recent Sona Tarek showings being very unsuccessful.
No one's won with it recently. No one's won with it at MSI, no one won with it at Collegiate, no one won with it here. I think that it's fallen out of flavor. I don't even think you have to nerf it. I think people just got bored of playing it because it's not that exciting to play.
And I mean, if you can't get off the ground, it's really not very good.
Yeah. And I mean, most people playing Sona are 80 carries that don't even like having Sona support them in the first place. So now you're putting them,
Sona.
Exactly. So now you put them there. We're good to see it gone. Akali gone as well, but Silas still remains up. Will Fox Academy take this pick?
Ooh, Aatrox up as well.
You got to flex this one, though. The value in the Aatrox we've seen from Collegiate is in flexing it into the jungle as well. So Panda better be prepared if Lurlur is not going to have a good matchup there.
That will leave the obvious Silas pick there for TL Academy, and Xayah also going to get collected as well.
If it's in the top lane, we've seen the Aatrox have a positive matchup into Silas, at least from Collegiate experience. So I think that we're probably looking at a Silas in the mid lane, which seems to be the better place for him for the most exceptionally flashy plays. Whereas top lane Silas is more of a, oh, leave him on an island, but that's just not what you want to do. He can impact the map so well, especially early on. The heals that we saw in last game were just out of this world.
That's the biggest thing for me. When you can't get out of your lane and try and steal a bunch of different ultis, Silas really doesn't do as much in the early game. So we'll see. Flexibility always valuable in a champion, so some pretty standard picks here to kick things off. Also, Kai'Sa will make her first appearance for today's broadcast, at least here in Academy, and Rakan will get stolen away. They'll take Kai'Sa Rakan.
That's right, Rakan cheating on Xayah for this time around, but she will have Galio alongside her. She'll remain ever guarding as with a little gargoyle next to her side. This is a very difficult lane to gank as well. Xayah with Galio, so much setup. You get chain taunted into the Feather Storm, really obnoxious. And if Xayah gets jumped on, she can ult, and then Galio will drop on top of her, making sure that by the time that her untargetability fades, Galio's knockup is there to pick up the scraps and keep people locked down.
Well, fans continue here in phase 2 as Olaf gonna get taken away for the second game in a row. Azir also joining that. So Phoenix is Azir pretty well known around these parts, so don't want to play against that one.
I want to keep tracking the Olaf bans on red side because last game we saw Golden Guardians do the exact same thing and they crushed that game. So clearly they were doing something right here. And with 2 games back-to-back, Olaf being banned, something must be happening in scrims where Olaf is just popping off.
Yep, Nico and Cannon both continuing to eat phase 2 bans as well. So there'll be the 2 bans on the Fox side. As TL Academy lining up pick number 4 here.
And this is definitely the jungler. You want to save that Sylas until the very end, and you flex the Jarvan. Super standard combination. I think it's the first combo that we saw with Galio that is still around. Galio ults on top of a Jarvan that has ulted, and you are in some deep trouble.
Yeah, we saw the throwback, which was the, actually Rek'Sai instead, but still similarly good aggressive jungler, one that Mike Young has played it countless times, but we did see Rumble Jarvan already, which is kind of the old classic. Now the current classic feels like Galio Jarvan, but Rek'Sai Jarvan fit into just about any team comp. Good, solid, aggressive jungler with engage.
It's all about following up quickly enough. That's really what it is, because Jarvan or Rek'Sai, they can't withstand the front line for too long. So as long as you can follow them up right away when they get the knock-up, it's all fine. The problem always happens and nobody follows up quickly enough, and that's why Jarvan ends up melting. He ends up looking terrible, but it can happen with Rek'Sai as well. She just has that ultimate to buy some time, but if she's not careful, she will get deleted, as we've seen in Game 1 between Clutch Gaming and Cloud9.
Well, there is Syndra for Fox Academy in the mid there for Phoenix, potentially up against the Sylas. We'll see what Insanity does want to pick. But they're thinking about something here for Panda and said he'll take Sejuani, so no buy this go round.
Syndra is pretty good against Sylas because you can't really get value out of stealing Unleashed Power. You don't have orbs on the floor, so you're just shooting like 2 little balls at somebody else, not making much of an impact. But in the top lane, speaking of impact, we've got Kled.
Why have I seen this matchup more than once in the last 2 weeks?
Right? Collegiate saw Kled going off like crazy. Everyone was playing Kled.
All right, I like it. Jenkins looks like TP for now, and I think that will hold here in Academy because you do want the pressure in the side lanes, but certainly a very volatile top lane matchup between Aatrox and Kled.
He's great at being decisive. I think that's why we see him, right? He's mechanically difficult, so that means that his ceiling is really high. You can get a lot of value if you can outplay your opponents, but more than that, in the team fights, you press R and it's really a Sivir ult on steroids because everyone goes in really fast and you guarantee the Kled weaving around, knocking somebody down.
All right, well, going to be a fun one. Certainly interesting to see what happens for the rest of Echo Fox throughout the weekend as we move into LCS as well, because with Phoenix Apollo playing down here, I wonder if they'll be moving anyone up for week 1, but that is all wild speculation, so we'll watch this game instead.
And we're just going to have a nice and easy start. Remember that we saw Sejuani. She was super popular in Collegiate as well, so it looks like these teams have been taking notes from that league, and Sejuani won, I believe, every game over there.
Yes.
And that's because the decisiveness of her engage is unparalleled, works amazingly with melee champions such as the Aatrox, proccing multiple stuns in a fight. I don't think there's any other champion that can actually keep so many people locked down at once because there is no cooldown on the permafrost. As long as the 4 stacks are hit, she can keep proccing stuns.
You can see some defensive positioning here from Phil. Matt also hiding in the brush, but looks like no invades. No real deep vision going to be placed here at level 1, so nothing crazy happening right now. Interesting to see Apollo with the cleanse, but very common against Galio in particular, wanting to make sure you don't get locked down. And Comet there for Insanity is actually quite different, and this is a player that mixes things up, not just in his picks, certainly loves to play the likes of Karthus, who you saw a lot last split, and has a pretty unique champion pool, but can make some unconventional choices as well.
That's a rare one, the comment onto the Sylas. So I want to see how he fares against Phoenix that's carrying Ignite. So Insanity now up against a LCS mid laner here who just had a really great run. So he's going to meet his maker.
Phoenix dodging around and throwing out Qs. Of course, being a range champion, Phoenix can try and abuse his range advantage in the early levels here.
Very nice. Nice little sidestep out of Phoenix, continuing to hit those orbs. Ding's level 2, and with the Ignite, Insanity does have to run back.
Yeah, Phoenix is stun as leveled as well, so wanting to get very aggressive potentially here in the early stages. As we'll check in with Panda and Mike Young, who have started on opposite sides of the jungle. Mike Young gonna path towards top here after taking the blue, And same story there for Panda, but of course he's on the bottom half.
Identical jungle routes, except they're mirrored. You've got a blue start into Wolves, into red buff, and then into the Krug. So both junglers yielding level 3 off of that. And it's just interesting to see that that seems to be the new standard for a jungle route, because you hit level 3, you get the maximum experience with your Krugs, and then you're going to be able to go for a cheeky little gank, wait about 10 seconds, Scuttle Crab is up, and everything is all right, because there's no crazy fight that you need your laners to collapse for.
Yeah, don't worry. Battle Crab is still very much around. Just happens a little later now. As a reminder, we are on patch 9.10. Bottom lane here, Apollo and Phil. Interesting to see them break up the band. Apollo and Hardcore, I think, are the current longest standing bot lane in LCS.
Yeah, they came in from playing together on Team Envy and then on Fox Academy. Had a lot of success, continuing to improve every time. And
Phoenix Ignite, that might be a kill. Looking for the flash, perhaps. Gets the last auto down, and that's enough. Phoenix commits everything and grabs first blood.
Lots of damage over time out of him between Airy, Ignite, and Corrupting Potion. It's way too much for Insanity to stay in that lane, and that's the power of Syndra, one of the strongest lane bullies in the game. She burns a flash, which might be the only window that Mike Young has to exploit that lane, because Rek'Sai with flash should be able to find an angle onto a Syndra.
See Insanity also using his own second summoner, that is the teleport there, to try and keep things a little bit more even, but Phoenix just played this beautifully.
Well, the minion wave is still kind of favoring Phoenix. They're all aggroed onto Insanity. Look at that, those two little casters still going on him, and then connects to stun, waits for the Q to be back up there, and a nice little sidestep to get out of that chain of Sylas. Make sure he doesn't take any unnecessary damage in that trade.
Yep. Goes back, opens up a Dark Seal Boots and a Fairy Charm. So not too many more combat stats, but clearly confident in his ability to poke out the lane there with Airy.
Oh, it's all laning here. When you go Dark Seal after your Corrupting Potion, you're looking for some fighting in the mid lane. And with the wave pushing in, let's see if Panda can even find Insanity. If he can chain us down, here we go.
Beautiful stun from Phoenix. There's the follow-up, slow lands, Permafrost gonna proc, and that's gonna be second blood over to Phoenix once again.
Very nice gank timing. The minion wave is crashing, which forces Mike Young to come in and soak up the wave, which frees up pressure for the rest of the map. They understood that Insanity did not have flash, and that is just as easy as 1, 2, 3. Sejuani, too much CC combined with Syndra, and now she's going to be hitting level 6 way before Insanity, which is going to make for another opportunity to gank, to the point where they might even just dive, because Ignite will be back up.
And now Phoenix has a Doran's Ring, which he did not have the last time I looked at his items. So, talked about, you know, wanting to really play for lane. This is maybe the most lane investment you can have.
And he's still going to need all of this, because Sylas continues to become a crazy laner. Even if he falls behind, he has so much sustain. Here we go. Waiting for Phoenix to ding 6. A really nice Scryer's Bloom out of Mike Young to spot Panda out. They will be fighting over that Vision Ward in the bottom lane, but Galio had priority.
Yep, so did Insanity with the wave building up. So Phoenix just plays back and collects the rest of the CS. Insanity at least doing a nice job keeping even on CS for now, but looks like a roam bottom lane here as Insanity wants to get out of this lane.
Are they thinking about diving this?
They're going to go into Panda at least, just sitting in the Krugs on top of a ward. Mike Young going to grab that kill.
That looked way too easy. Panda not respecting that Insanity had just left the lane. And the Mike Young was just in this area not too long ago. They should have thought that maybe they were on the hunt, because Mike Young was a level up on Sejuani. He did not waste any time going for ganks. He kept power farming, and that shows with a 14 CS lead in the jungle.
Also in mid lane, Phoenix finally gets a CS lead after Insanity leaves. Although Sylas will continue to collect creeps as TL going to take that bottom lane pressure that they got from the roam and the general push, and look to take this Infernal Drake away nice and simply as well.
Yeah, really well-timed conversion. Sejuani was not there, no threat of a steal. And now the next one is going to be a Cloud, so fighting is going to be deterred around Dragon for a while. But this Dragon is going to be huge for the side of Team Liquid Academy when you have a Rek'Sai, a Kled, Sylas, and even the Xayah. Everyone gets bonuses out of this one.
Show you they're going to cancel the back out of Phil. Going to go ahead and take the rest of that back as Apollo returning to lane now with a BF sword completed. Shoryu does need to take his recall as well, as Insanity will also receive the donation of the blue buff there from Mike Young.
Very generous, giving away blue buff this early on. A lot of times junglers will just take it to keep up farming to make sure that they can stay ahead 1 or 2 levels to their counterpart. But Mike Young, already being level 6, I don't think he's too preoccupied. I think that securing the dragon, getting that kill onto the jungler is more than enough to reassure him that he's doing a good job.
Phoenix will also get the first or the second blue as it rotates back around. So I think mostly just some pushing back and forth here. As Insanity doing a nice job staying afloat here in the lane despite all the pressure that Phoenix has.
And look at the itemization that Insanity has gone for. Rushing Mercury Treads, really smart item. Against Sejuani, it's great, and against Syndra, it's even better. All the magic resist you need to make sure you get out of all those nasty CC chains so that you can actually answer back and get a chance at using your healing abilities to try to turn things around.
Yep, again, just respecting the power of the Syndra. As Panda gonna path back towards his own red buff. We did briefly see top lane there. Jenkins has a little under a wave lead with that teammate helping him push in, but with that counter pick, not too surprising there for the Kled, as haven't seen too much action in that 1v1 so far. Although Jenkins now gonna roam down for some vision, might be trying for a dive here, but is gonna get the ward down at minimum.
Really smart vision there. Having the control ward in the blue buff and an entrance from the mid into the top side means that Panda can't really enter this side of the map without being spotted, which means that he has to be elsewhere. He's in bottom, but Matt's engaging.
Knock up onto Phil, who's trying to dance back around, but can't find it. Matt now with the on-the-spot knock-up does clip Panda. Mike Young instantly follows up with his own knock-up as the Featherstorm committed. Wasn't needed, but that's enough for 2 kills there for TLA.
And that is Matt and Shoryu pulling the trigger right away, knowing they had more than enough damage. A really good ultimate from Matt to make sure that not only Panda doesn't engage, but that they can counter-engage by continuing to hit him with the knock-up and Mike Young flashing in. Panda's died twice and hasn't even burned his flash a single time.
And that's going to be 2, almost 3 plates as well here for TLA. Actually, I think the minions will tick the third one over. They do. As Shoryu and Matt collect a big amount of bonus gold there.
Panda
they're going to do it again.
No, Apollo!
No flash. Oh, he does have flash from Matt, but actually didn't want to commit with the flash and cleanse up there for Apollo. A cute move there from TLA's duo lane, but does not work out this time.
It's part of the weakness you have when you lane without a heal. One of your laners has cleanse. It's a selfish summoner spell, so you can't save anybody else with that. This is a matter of, can we get out of lane without dying? And so far, 50% of that is true, because one guy is down.
As we watch this one again, Matt just knew the timing here.
Sejuani was coming, so that's why Apollo and Phil felt comfortable, but immediately locking down the Rakan is way too much, and Shoryu hits a really nice feather call to lock him down even further. And you see that the knockups there were amazing, and the second that Panda gets tagged, he knows that it's not a good time to flash because Mike Young can always follow with his ultimate. It's just unfortunate that he hasn't had a chance to burn his flash. I think that he didn't think he'd be clipped by the edge of Matt's ultimate.
You can see a bit of vision battling there happen as Panda backs down to the bottom half of the map. Phoenix now also rotating his way down, so that will force the bottom lane away.
Well, Phoenix is getting mad. He's been winning his lane, and now everything is bleeding, and he hasn't been able to do much about it. So trying to look for an opportunity to get a run, but the itemization continues to be really stacked against him. There's 3 Merc Treads on the map now.
And Lost Chapter is helping kind of, again, get this push happening and get himself out of the lane, but Phoenix's roam not successful there in the bottom half as Mike Young does get the Rift Herald. TLA keeping things close, actually up in objectives and about 500 gold here in this early game. So despite how well Phoenix is doing in mid lane, you can see he's about 800 gold ahead of Insanity. Needs to try and look to move that lead somewhere else, or have the rest of the map come to him. As Phil is joining up with Panda here behind the lane.
They're looking for something mid lane, and they have yet to show Phil. He just revealed himself, and it looks like it's all based around this dragon. But this team needs Apollo to help him do the dragon. So it's a bit of a tricky situation when you clear out all the vision, but you can actually not threaten to go for it. So Team Liquid just walks right up. Okay, you clear the vision, but it's ours whenever we want. We have lane priority.
And Silas, of course, even when behind, can always steal a critical ulti. So Insanity was able to grab the Sejuani ult there, which will help if any sort of fight does erupt around the Drake pit.
So the Rek'Sai will hand off blue to Silas once again, hoping to secure pressure into the mid lane, which should free him up to make some moves around the map. And the move that is most pressing for Hard or Mike Young right now is going to be utilizing that Rift Herald. You need to get value out of that one before 14 minutes. Try to cash in some plates, and if you can time it really well, that might even net you first brick. So where does Mike Young choose to use his ability? He still has about a minute 20, but if this dragon takes too long and they can't set up anywhere else, he's going to miss out on a lot of gold.
Matt at least clearing out the vision, so saw a lot of this in playoffs, especially for TLA. Really good using their kind of more veteran players in Matt and Mike Young to just move around the map and make stuff happen. A pretty well-drilled team. They will take the card break for themselves and see if Mike has found the spot for the Rift Herald.
Let's find that Rift Herald use. I think
It's
he wants it in bot. Yep.
Channel up, Matt gonna force fill away. Sure, you already had the wave pushing in, so well-timed there for TLA as they're looking to take even more gold and give it over to the bottom.
Oh, what? There's like no plates here. This was so unnecessary. Should have gone to the mid lane. Oh, look at that.
You hate to see it.
There's 5 plates in mid.
5 plates on the tier 2 as well. Oh no, there's not. Only the outer turrets have plates.
Oh,
I take it all back.
That was not optimal. But they at least get first brick, so it's something. I just don't think that's where Rift Herald should have been used. Look at that. 3 delicious plates just ready to be eaten right up. He's just using extra.
Yeah, that was
to run out. Yeah, don't worry about that. He wasn't actually looking for a play.
Doesn't get the plate either as they'll time out in seconds. But still, big gold boost to the bottom half of the map for TLA. Show you with the first item done. Now working on the second is kind of the big winner there. As Jenkins is laid a trap here for Lolo.
They're going to gank him. They might even commit Matt's ultimate for this.
Jenkins in. There's Matt's ulti, like you mentioned. Bear drop on a rope is going to connect. Clad thinking about diving, but Lolo with the World Ender on is going to deter them.
There is no wave, so they can't immediately push for anything. But hey, they at least burned Lorelor's ultimate and his flash, so he's going to be a lot weaker now.
Certainly a play worth going for as Jenkins is going to take the recall and move himself down to the bottom half of the map where things have swapped up. You can see Apollo and Phil plus Panda have all made their way here to the top outer turret.
This lane went really well for Team Liquid, so they have no problem being matched by Apollo and Phil once again, because they know they're going to be able to secure some plates here. So, well, plates have already gone. They're going to be able to secure tower damage, which will eventually lead to the tower, pressure on the map, and then they can spill that over into the mid lane. That's really the big honcho, the big objective.
Matt's going to find Phil here, but again, no real counter opportunities there for Fox Academy because Mike Young and Insanity continue to stay glued together. Impressed by Insanity despite the 2 early deaths in his lane. Just, saying, you know what, I don't need it. I can get out of lane and roam, which has certainly been a hallmark of his playstyle for basically his entire tenure in Academy.
It's a good trait for a player to be able to fall behind and still make an impact on the other side of the map. Yes, he's not going to be able to bully his lane, but he's going to be able to help out his lanes to at least rotate in Fog of War, put pressure on the map that way, and that makes a world of difference because, well, first,
yeah, good detective work from Lolo actually. Jenkins had a nice angle for a potential dive onto Phoenix, but Lolo roamed into the jungle, found the Kled and forced him out.
That's a tough one because it's really hard to dive Syndra just running straight at her. You always want to have some element of surprise, members coming from different angles so that you don't get stun locked or one shot, especially if you have to take tower shots. Kled is really good at that, but let's say Kled goes in and Silas just gets stunned and walks away. Kled is done for.
TLA continuing to play pretty patiently here. Slowly building up gold now, up to 2,000. Certainly a bit of a pace change from our first 2 games. But TLA still playing kind of that controlled, clinical style that we saw them excel at in spring.
And here we go. They have top lane completely theirs. This should be more than enough time to secure the objective. But there's 4 members out of Fox Academy rotating. Do they plan on defending this afterwards?
Demolish there from Matt, able to help polish off the turret. And Insanity again, roaming around, got that Cloud Drake for a bit of extra speed burst. Doesn't look like Fox are doing much other than just watch the turret fall away.
So that was actually a really sick play that is on a macro level, huge. because you just saw that Kled, who's bottom lane, rotates to mid, and then the mid laner rotates to top. So you fill in the gaps that each member is leaving behind to apply pressure on another specific part of the map. So they go and send 4 members top, but Kled fills in for mid. So when Syndra rotates, she's now missed out on the wave of CS because Kled has shoved bottom and got to shove the mid lane. So that is Team Liquid being very synchronized in their pushes here, and it shows as now they're about 2,000 gold up with kills being relatively even.
And you know, we don't always see this, you know, between Academy teams and their LCS counterparts, but in a lot of ways, TLA plays the game a lot like Team Liquid. I mean, the quality of play is obviously different, but like the same discipline and like methodical approach to playing the game is, I think, echoed in the LCS team as well.
Looks up to Big Brother.
Infrastructure working out well as Echo Fox trying to find some sort of proactive move. This is nice here onto the Drake. The Kled ulti already started off here. That's going to force them right off the objective. And Jenkins says, thanks for the leash. Matt's going to get the taunt off. Only finds one. The front side, though, Phil in the back. Looking to try and make it happen. Troy with a better stomp out. Going to find the root, but Apollo dives in and does find the assassination with Phoenix. Able to finish it off with the ulti. Jenkins dead as he cannot quite remount. And Fox finally win a fight.
That fight looked so messy, but the thing that made it exceptionally difficult for Fox and for Team Liquid is that it was in a straight line. Kled just ran straight in there, and when you're up against a Syndra, you're gonna get hit by every single one of her abilities. So let's see how this all started off, because Fox immediately says, let's get that dragon. We know that there's no vision here. And Team Liquid, they charge in right away. They don't know what's going on. So Mike Young is waiting for his team to get in there, but they stop at the dragon. Matt goes in, but a 3-man stun out of Phoenix, and then the great turn from the Rakan gets everybody locked down. Sure, you're not doing any damage, utilizing that ultimate, and then Apollo ults right on through, and that was just a great use of the Scatter the Weak from Phoenix, and a bit of a questionable engage out of Team Liquid. You have to find multiple angles. You cannot engage in a straight line, which is counterintuitive to how Kled plays, but you at least have to utilize Mike Young or Matt to try to find an angle that is not obvious.
Yeah, somewhat surprised to not see Matt use his ulti either, but I guess just wanted to start the fight off with a taunt with a bit of extra speed from the Kled ulti, so whatever it was, not working out that time for TLA as Fox counterpunch effectively. Still looking to take their first turret of the game and open up a bit more space for themselves, as well as get that gold a little bit closer to even, but TLA still in control despite the setback around the dragon.
Yeah, and that's because so much of Fox's money is on Phoenix, who's really immobile. Until we get to the point where everything is decisively 5-on-5, Phoenix is not going to have such a large impact, which is why these fights around Dragon are what Fox wants to have happening right now. It's just unfortunate that there's just no other objectives to really take. Kai'Sa, Xayah, not the greatest at sieging, so they're kind of stuck waiting to try to catch somebody in the jungle, somebody mis-rotating, or for the next dragon.
Fox might have found an angle here, but Matt gets out with a Justice Punch. Still that's room around the turret to try and crack the outer here in mid. And with Panda rotating around, TL going to have to give this up. Jenkins also roaming up. Maybe there's a counter engage here for TLA, but not super convinced.
Too dispersed. Fox already got what they were looking for. Here's the turret. And now Team Liquid in the mid lane is kind of just wasting time. You're not going to get a fight here. The wave is already pushed in, and Fox got what they came here for, so there's no need for them to try to overcommit, because they would be fighting over nothing that they care about. Instead, they reset, they base, and I believe we have a completed Morello Nomicon out of Phoenix, and we were about to hit that Ginsu's Rageblade from Apollo, which are huge, huge power spikes.
Yep, getting close there. So there's 2 carries on the Fox side, also 2 still currently for sure you, but Jenkins didn't see much of the lane 1v1, but starting to fall a little bit behind in CS and items, as Aatrox seems to have a bit better of a side lane presence right now. Mike Young trying to go onto Phoenix. That stun did not quite connect, and here's Insanity with a great follow-up ulti. That's going to be the shutdown. Mike Young dancing around, going to knock up the Sejuani. Here comes the Kled. Ulti there from Mike Young to try and buy as much time as possible. Panda is not going to live, but it was close as Lolo TPing in to try and make it count. Going to pull back Jenkins here with Kled. Maybe going to turn around for the fight, but dismounted Lolo just so strong in this 1v1. And Jenkins dismounted, looking for the remount, but Phil knocks him up, and Lolo knocks him down.
That's a triple kill. That Aatrox was 0-0-1 before this fight started, and now he has reached God mode with a 450 gold bounty to boast. On top of that, he's now 1,500 gold up on the Kled. All right, can Lurlo carry this fight? Because that is everything you need on Aatrox and more. He's got Death Stance completed. And this all started with a really good play out of Insanity by stealing the Sejuani ultimate, but they just did not anticipate the Aatrox teleport. So let's see. Mike Young goes in right away. A great steal of Sejuani's ultimate, and they delete Syndra right away. That's great so far, but look at the Aatrox. He's in there. Bam, secures the second Q. Gets one, gets the other with the auto attack, and when you're this strong with your ultimate on and Kled's already committed his, there's just no way that Jenkins can stay up there. Lurlo has it guaranteed. Baits in Phil to get in there, even uses the quickness to try to get him out, but hey, you get the kill and that's all that matters.
Yeah, big moment there for Fox Academy as they finally find a bit of gold somewhere else other than the mid lane. And Apollo has also finished up the Rage Blade now as well.
That's a really good place for the gold to go in because you get so many melee members on the side of Team Liquid Academy. So Aatrox obviously vulnerable to being kited, but when you're having a Rek'Sai, a Sylas, a Gallia, and even a Kled on you, you're bound to be hitting a lot of people. You're bound to be getting a lot of damage off, which shreds and gives you life steal.
Ulti, they found Matt, but a good buffer with the Justice Punch gets him a little further out of the way. Mike Young low, but sure, you already took down Phil. Here comes Matt, going to try and save the jungler. That's going to force Apollo's flash, however. As Fed wrapping around the backside, can't quite connect with the ulti, but they jump in onto Panda instead. They'll re-engage. A shutdown there from Silas. Insanity getting low from Lola, but they're trying to chase Phoenix down after Apollo's dead as well. Lola in the World Ender trying to battle it out, but it's 1v3 right now. World End is going to time out. He's probably going to die as Jenkins finds the joust and the kill. And Phoenix, the stun too late. He's now going to get trapped up by the bear trap. Pulled back in, and Jenkins going to grab yet another kill.
Oh, even gets the Zanyas out of that one. And an Infernal Dragon. That's huge for Team Liquid. Aatrox just got 3 kills. We thought Aatrox was about to carry, but the engage was a thing that was botched because Panda goes in right away, and instead of hitting any priority target, the Sejuani ultimate connects onto the Galio, the last target you want to see it go. Immediately stuns, but he already buffered the ability. And the second stun from Phoenix goes on to Mike Young, which, yes, Mike Young goes down, but you lost so much HP out of Panda. You lost the Rakan right away, and Kled got to flank. Shoryu was completely untouched in this fight, and because they committed so much to the targets that don't deal damage, there was just no way to stay in this fight without having to wait your cooldowns out. They lose, and they lose it big.
And Jenkins, 2 very accurate bear traps there. Able to find the ace, which led into the Infernal there for TLA as Phoenix pops to watch just to donate Shoryu the kill instead.
Not sure why you would ever use stopwatch there. That's actually a really poor use of stopwatch because it's not a Zanyas. You can't get that one back until you complete the item. And as you can see, he's super far from it. He doesn't even have Fiendish Codex or the arm guard, so I'm going to question that one. He should have accepted death there.
Does not, and instead TLA continue to push themselves a little bit further ahead in gold, up to 3,000 up now.
Yes, with 2 Infernals now and a Mountain Dragon up next. That next one is going to dictate a lot of what's to come in this game. That Mountain Dragon means anybody can go for a Baron the second that they have it, and if you don't have enough vision and you can't get it quickly enough, the objective is already in the hands of the enemy.
TLA going to continue to play, again, that same objective-focused style. They'll clear out the vision, and they'll try and find the engages as Jenkins hunting through the jungle, but on top of a ward right now. We'll find the control there south of the red and at least clear that one away. But don't expect this game to erupt anytime soon. Again, TLA very disciplined as a team.
We'll see about that because the Scuttle Crab has just faded and there is a control ward in the Baron pit. If they can somehow draw enough people out into the mid lane, Team Liquid might just start that Baron. And they get a Scryers out of that, so it looks like Fox is respecting that Baron can be taken. But as long as Shoryu stays on the map, they will know that there is no Baron shenanigans happening. Because you just can't do it without the AD carry.
Have to re-push mid. Jenkins going to go back down and force pressure there into the bot lane. So starting to, you know, force Fox to ask the question of, are they on Baron yet? TL, again, very patient in this situation.
And they continue to check, and that's because you've got the Kled pushing the bottom lane. He's more than happy doing this. He might be able to even start hitting the turret once his own wave crashes. But it does mean that Fox, having all their members nearby, or at least closer to collapse, they can start pushing up and clearing out that vision, regaining some of that control so that the Baron dance is not as obnoxious as it is.
Insanity starting off the crab. That's going to get smote away by Panda as Mike Young has found a very deep flank here. Sweeping all the way around just to make sure there's no vision. Jenkins continuing to pressure down the bot side with his teleport now back up. I think a lot more threatening, and he will get a turret out of the deal here.
That's that split pushing Kled power. He's really annoying here, having that Titanic Hydra that lets him clear out minion waves in a matter of seconds. Still has that TP to collapse, and I think the teams have given up on fighting around Baron until they have that mountain, because this is, after all, just barking. No one's actually going to go ahead and try to solo it. No one's doing that just yet, so they know that they're just toying with vision and looking for the opportunity for somebody to slip up. But because there's just nothing at stake, no one's really going to be making such a large mistake.
Shoyu, though, continuing to gain in strength. In fact, both marksmen are actually looking pretty powerful. Third item done there for Apollo, finished up his Hurricane, and it was already 3 done for Shoyu with the Infinity Edge completed. Now there's a BF Sword on top of that as well.
This is the power of that Kaisa with a completed Ginsu's Rage Blade. This Baron will melt. The teleport is in. They know.
Yeah, and the Baron not low enough for them to really finish, but they are going to commit a little while longer. Insanity still has the stolen ulti. Clips Panda with the slow puppet, but Phil going to be the target. Finds a double charm, going to dance back towards his team, and Phil's out of there as the counter Cedral is going to find Insanity.
That's not the greatest use of the Sejuani ultimate. They now have no way of really...
Oh, what a stun by Phoenix. Cancelled the flash tort attempt there by Matt. Still,
Team Liquid gets to push up mid lane and have priority for either Baron or Dragon after this, so they're in a great spot here, and they only committed Kledo.
Insanity, actually both teleports were committed as well. So TL kind of lost a lot of their global pressure to look to get them off the Baron. But they'll come back around, they'll clear it out. They'll actually aggro it there. Matt with the words of wind, not too sure what he thought there. Ult getting stolen. Insanity now going to do his best Rakan impression. Matt going to find the knock up on the Panda. They get the taunt. But Sejuani pretty tanky. Matt not that tanky. They'll dive back in though. There's the ulti out of Rakan. Stolen by the silence. Shoyu with a killing spree. Going to take down Phil. Matt gets out with his own ulti as Lolo forced into stasis with the World Ender on. Will die as his ulti timed out in the stopwatch.
And that's the same thing that we've seen all game long. Fox is trying to take a fight lacking ultimate. Sejuani did not have her ult. And to boast, they engage onto Gallia, using so many abilities on the tankiest guy, the one that deals the least amount of damage. Team Liquid is wiping the floor with Fox Academy, punish them to the maximum as now they retreat to the Baron.
Nice dunk there from Mike Young, following the Kaisa as Insanity dove with his stopwatch. And now Jenkins onto Phoenix, Bear Trap procs, and see you later, Syndra.
That looked way too easy from Team Liquid, identifying that it was the right time to fight. The second that so much was committed onto Gallia, they knew that the carries were going to be safe and A-OK. This is a Baron, and it's going to be a Mountain Dragon as well.
Might even be an inhibitor tower falling in the top half because Jenkins is sticking around to do the damage. 10 seconds up to Apollo, but no one up soon enough to save that inhibitor turret. In fact, the Baron up minions already working on the inhib, so watch this one again.
So Fox immediately goes on to Matt, and Phoenix uses his stun onto Matt as well. There's no way they can counter-engage this. Rakan has no ultimate either. How on earth were they going to take this fight? Look at that. They're still focusing Matt and Mike Young while the carries are running down Lorlo, have run down Phoenix. It was just all too easy. Way too many abilities were lacking out of Fox.
Also, Jenkins killed Lolo out of stasis with the pocket pistol, which is always fun to see, but another great follow-up stun there from Insanity, who dives straight in for Apollo. And with Mike Young following through, it's a really easy team fight win. Plus the nice Kled ult here on Phoenix for the ace.
We could use a flying squirrel Rek'Sai skin, which he ults in. Or maybe Superman, who knows. If we can turn Fizz into a dog, I'm pretty sure we can do anything.
Insanity has stolen the Sejuani ult once more. And TL is trying to break a few more inhibitor turrets here. Jenkins also going to return to the top half of the map to get those minions pushing in and really turn on the 3-lane pressure.
Yeah, and there's no one on Fox's side that can really hunt anybody down. It would only be Lorlo, but Mike Young has tunnels. He's got the Baron. If he gets caught by Lorlo, it's his own doing. So this Baron threat is going to be really nasty out of Team Liquid Academy, and it might just net a few inhibitors and up to the game.
Well, you can see Jenkins with a GA pushing pretty fearlessly, even though the Syndra is threatening. Matt looking for the follow-up onto Apollo. Nice ult there from Insanity, but Panda going to get locked up instead. Matt able to take that kill. They'll break mid. They'll take top. And all of a sudden, War's really collapsing around Fox Academy.
They're not looking to end. They're going for the 3 inhibitors first, and then they'll go for it. That way they can maximize the chances that if they can't do it, they'll have another go at it in a few minutes.
Still a mountain as well to take once all of this stops. So 3 inhibitors down. Double supers in every wave. Gonna start sieging onto Fox Academy's base.
And 2 Infernals as well, so this one's really nasty. Having those Guardian Angels up makes it so difficult for Fox to try to look for a right engage. Who do you go on? The Sylas is always a pain. The tanks are difficult to go after. And then you've got Xayah, who has a GA as well. It's a really tall order, and one that, frankly, might be too late.
Yeah, 45 seconds here for the Baron still available, but they're doing what they can to try and stop the bleeding. Fox Academy really have to weather the storm here as the super minions are trudging in and threatening that Nexus. Insanity were ready with the Aatrox ult just to try and tank it up. Here's Clegg gonna charge in. Galio ult gonna follow through. They take down 1 turret. Matt charging in. Finds the Taunt, looks for 3 and does find them just as much follow up, and it's absolute chaos in the backline there as TLA gonna take almost everybody down. Apollo will look to see his Nexus fall as that's the ace, and that's the game over to Team Liquid Academy.
And that's a great debut out of them. The first game they played this split and complete dominating fashion. They knew what they had to do. They even gave us some surprise flavorful picks with the Kled in the top lane. So loving what we see out of this Team Liquid team, TSM team so far.
Team Liquid Academy. They'll play TSM Academy, though, on Sunday.
That's why.
Which we can look forward to. Seems like business as usual, to be honest, there for Team Liquid Academy. No changes in the roster. Had a really strong finish. Considered one of the top 3 teams here in Academy. Very similar to LCS, which is nice and fun. Cloud9, CL, and TSM still looking good, even here for their Academy counterparts. But not that game didn't have moments there for Echo Fox, but again, Team Liquid Academy are a team that very well disciplined, very well drilled. Don't always play the flashiest League of Legends, but really know that they don't have to. So we'll take a look at a few highlights here.
And it all started so well for Fox. This was a solo kill from Phoenix onto Insanity. The LCS mid laner is stepping in to play for Academy, gets in the first kill, and then finds the return one with a gank from Panda. And from this point onwards, we thought this was going to be, okay, Phoenix, Fox, can they really do this? There's such a big lead in the mid lane, but they were not able to turn this into anything else, because then we got to team fights right away, and this was all about Team Liquid. Actually, this fight went really well for Phoenix. This was the one fight that they were able to fight in a straight line, where Fox got everything that they wanted. Phoenix hit a 3-man stun, and then, look at that. The game was over, just in a matter of team fighting. And a big part of it was because Team Liquid found all the opportunities where ultimates and key abilities were down, where they were engaged upon and the tanks were prioritized. So that gave the opportunity for their carries to go in and end the game swiftly.
It felt like they found maybe one hiccup there, but as soon as the game started really getting going, you can see that gold graph there in the bottom left of your screen, just straight down.
Yeah, that one was quite the cliff dive. And I really like how quickly Team Liquid was able to capitalize and end the game. On one of the Baron pushes, all right, bam, game is over. This is ours. No hesitation. Lots of tower diving, lots of action. I love this new meta where being decisive and being quick with how decisive you are is super important.
And you know what? I think if any champions can embody that, Galio Kled just seems like the most obvious. Like, you know what? We need to go in a little bit more. Well,
and Rexa as well. These champions don't need ultimates to fight. A lot of the times they're capable of being in a fight without those ultimate abilities. And then you've got champions like Sejuani who just aren't that great without the ultimate. Yes, they're really good, but they typically need it. Same with an Aatrox, typically needs the ultimate. Same with Syndra, typically needs the ultimate. It means you can't fight that often. It means you have to concede a lot more of the map.
And if we're talking about ultimates being powerful, probably time to keep talking about Sylas. I believe he's won every single game he's played today. We'll see if that changes. Obviously a known powerful champion, but I feel like Sylas has just done so much work in every team fight we've watched so far.
It's because so many ultimates right now are just game-breaking. You've got a Galio ultimate, which is 6. Sejuani ultimate is amazing. Rek'Sai ultimate that's picked so much, lets you go under, and then get back out there, do some execute damage, maybe get refreshed your cooldown. So it's a matter of, yes, Sylas is great, but the ultimates of the champions that are meta right now make him even greater.
If ults are the best, then Sylas is the team fight king. There's more league action coming up after the break. We're going to return with Game 4 of the night as TSM Academy take on CLG Academy.
Continuing to improve every time. And
Phoenix Ignite, that might be a kill. Looking for the flash, perhaps. Gets the last auto down, and that's enough. Phoenix.
Matt's engaging.
Knock up onto Phil, who's trying to dance back around, but can't find it. Matt now with the on-the-spot knock-up does clip. Panda Mike Young instantly follows up with his own knock-up, dancing around, going to knock up the Sejuani. Here comes the Kled. Ulti there from Mike Young to try and buy as much time as possible. Panda is not going to live, but it was close as Lolo. Galio going to follow through. They take down one turret. Matt charging in, finds the Taunt, looks for 3, and does find them just as much follow-up, and it's absolute chaos in the backline there as